Hello, good morning, Arnold. How you doing today? Welcome to the live stream. We are having a party today. Things are about to change in a dramatic way. Okay, pretty sure I changed that. Let's try that again. Just bear with me whilst I calibrate myself with this. There we go. Yeah, that's better. How you doing? Leg, neck, nail. Party time. I am dream chasing. I see XLM price dropping. So do I. That's the whole reason why we're here. So basically, we have confirmation, and I just posted a TradingView idea just before. If you didn't get that one, time to share the screen. Time to share the screen. Right. Here we go. So I have said it many times that we are going to make a new low. And when we make that new low, this is the good time to buy XLM. It's an XLM time to buy XLM. How low can it go? Okay. So I've answered this question also many times, but because we always have new people joining, I am willing to answer every question you have. So back up here, we have wave one. Check out the length of wave one. Now, this is roughly going to be the length of wave five, okay? So we saw a 1, 2. Now we're in the midst of 3. We're going to mess around down the bottom here at 4. Drop a tiny bit lower in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 waves down of wave 5. Okay, so if you go back up here, you can see, right? This is a 5-wave move. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you had wave 2, right? Same deal here, except this time, it's every wave is not the same. That's why we track the waves because there's a reason behind every wave. So come on, let's be realistic. So this is 1, 2, 3 in progress, and like I said, 4 and 5 is coming, right? Now the difference here is that this wave here happened sharper, quicker. You could say, you could argue, right? Took about, well, if you want to measure it, took about 19 hours, roughly, okay? And so far, this has already taken, since the highs, has already taken 2 days. 2 days. So does this look like it's going to go lower? And could this potentially be something else that what I'm telling you it is? Well, why is this wave weaker? The simple truth is it's a wave 5, okay? So let's just zoom out for a moment. Let's just understand, without the fancy drawings, right, that this is a 1, 2, 3, and then everything after this is corrective. Everything up until this point right here, right? That's where wave 5 started. When it broke that low just today, when I woke up, it broke that low. That's confirmation that we have seen the end of wave 4. Okay. I said that yesterday and the day before, right? So now we are moving in the last wave, which has taken longer, which is proof that this thing is going to basically just make a new low and shoot straight up in wave D. So let's go to the live chat here. Yeah, so basically good to see you again. Also, my friend, so basically, like, let's go to the larger time frame, right? Larger time frame. Actually, let's go to the STR USDT chart. So this is basically same thing, Stellar. Okay, it's just a different chart. I'm only going to use this for illustration purposes to help you understand what the deal is, what's going on right now. Okay. Okay. So basically, we're in a zigzag wave D, right? Just ignore that line. Okay. So within that zigzag wave D, so you've got your A, your B, your C, right? And now we're in D, right? So everything that's been happening within this B wave is totally corrective. Okay. So basically, after we hit that top, right? So we go A, B, C small, D should break all-time high, E should retest. If that happens to confirm by breaking, sorry, messed that up. Let's start that one again, shall we? So we got A, we got B, we got small c. We need to see a D break the all-time high. We need to see a retest of all-time high. We need to see, so basically we're seeing the end of C wave. We need D and E. Wherever E ends, we measure the same length as this here from that point to get our target. Okay, this is Arias wave. I created this methodology. If you don't know anything about it, visit my website, ariaswave.com, right? I've been tracking every move recently, so all related ideas on my latest TradingView ideas, they're all down there, and my members occasionally chime in to say hi. Actually, one of my members is, I believe, with his girlfriend out in the cabin, on a cabin somewhere in London. So he can't be with us here today, but hopefully he's placed an order of some sort if he has no reception. So basically, it all depends on where this B wave ends. And then we have to measure the same distance from that spot. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that we need to see. The C is only going to be proving to us, once it's broken, that this is like basically a cup and handle pattern, right? Cup and handle pattern are bullish. In case you haven't studied your pattern book of patterns, it's a bullish symbol, but we don't use that as a primary tool in RS Wave. We just sometimes like to illustrate, you know, how different patterns, how people come to these conclusions of these patterns. But I can tell you ahead of time of how they form and what they mean and how to expect them. So you can use a whole range of, depends on how interested you are in learning the waves, right? You can learn how to use RSI in a way that that basically explains to you if you're seeing wave 3 price action, right? And if you're seeing a bottom, that's all I'd use it for. Divergence, not really. By using it for wave 3 price action, you kind of are using divergence in a way, but it's not a primary tool, so I don't use it for that. Moving averages, once again, be careful. Just use them at certain times. Just don't use them all the time, don't rely on them. The waves are the primary method of analyzing markets. So that's what I do. Okay, that's what I created. Right, Elliott wave is BS. Okay, I lost a ton of money with Elliott wave. And basically, the only thing Elliott wave taught me how to do was to count to 5. So now I can count to 5 thanks to Elliott wave, but they did nothing else for my knowledge on the waves. So here we are now at this very spot, at this very moment in time, where we are getting ready to buy XLM at 27 cents. You can try and catch the low. You can try and go lower than that. I don't care what you do. Just don't act like some of these trolls out here who think they know everything and then totally get annihilated by proving themselves wrong just by commenting on some crap that never happened. And then having the audacity to come on and say stuff about my work when it's actually doing exactly what I said it would. And it has been for so many videos. So I laugh at you guys. Holy moly. I'll drink to that. Will XRP break to the upside along with XLM at the same time? No, I do not believe so. XRP, and I spoke about this yesterday in my live stream. I believe it was my live stream. XRP is probably going to go down along with ADA and Bitcoin. Okay, so the only reason I'm covering XLM is because I see the potential for profit, right? Arius Wave is not an XLM army type channel, no. I have just focused my attention at this particular time on XLM simply to show you how accurate Arius Wave can be. At the same time, offering 50% off to those who want to learn it until the end of June. So far, that's working really well. And the evidence, the proof is in the pudding. I've been calling all these moves all along, but I have not been giving you any buy or sell signals just yet. The only buy signal you're going to get out of me is buy at the red dotted line, okay? Because we have to make one more low, okay? By definition of a 5-wave move, and not an Elliottician's 5-wave move, because if you're an Elliottician, then your 5-wave move completed around here or something, right? And obviously that's not the case because we don't follow Elliott wave because Elliott wave is garbage. Yes, cheers. Cheers. Only having a cup of tea at the moment because it's still early in the day. Well, it's past 12, so technically that's all right. But I've got a lot of work to do, so I've got to keep it real today. So basically, you know, the alternation between wave 2 and wave 4 was pretty extreme. But these are just pieces of evidence to suggest that, okay, one, a triangle is a sign of weakness because it can't go lower. It wants to go lower. It needs to make that last low. So a triangle is there basically coiling up the Arius waves and then pushing price lower. Okay. It's not that I don't call this a triangle. I just call this Arius wave in the shape of a triangle, right? Because sometimes you can have parts of the correction that are not in the triangle and all these also. And then you get some people who say, oh, the triangle could break up and then do this, or it could break down and then up. I mean, guys, come on. The market's only going to do one thing, right? Think about it. It's only going to make one pattern. It's not going to chaotically decide, oh, I'm not going to go up anymore. I'm going to go down just to just to mess with these clowns, just to play with your mind, right? No, waves don't do that. You do that to yourself by not knowing the waves, right? There can only be one pattern, right? How do you think RS wave was created? Because I found the pattern, right? There can only be one pattern. Yes, there are different size waves, and every wave is unique and all this sort of stuff, right? But how did I manage to do what I did, right? Made some mistakes along the way, but it wasn't a problem because towards the end, everything became clearer, and now we are heading for 27 cents, just like I've been saying, right? Against everybody else's BS, I don't give a crap what you say. I stick to my analysis. That's what's the most important thing here. Everything else is commentary. Everything else means nothing. It just shows your ignorance once you start projecting your own emotions and then they get proven wrong on their own without me even having to respond. That's pretty funny, right? That's pretty funny. And that's why I see the comments I'm seeing now in TradingView where my followers are actually attacking the trolls for being so stupid. And it's like, my job here is done, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even have to say a word anymore. And it's actually quite funny because that's how trolls end up disappearing. Once they have nothing more to prove to themselves, their little egos, they just disappear into nothing because they are nothing. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. From Korea. You have your buy order set at 29, 27, 25. Yeah, man, you really are thinking this through, aren't you? And God willing, 20. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Look, we all have our own ways of scaling in. Maybe you want to wait for price to go back past the start of wave 5 to buy in. Maybe you know, it depends on your level of faith and confidence in the waves, right? Just remember, you're listening to a guy on the internet, even though that guy has been giving you constant videos that prove my point and accurately describe the price action as it's been happening, right? It's totally up to you, depending on your level of knowledge, as to how you're going to get into this. I say buy 27 cents because that's what I'm going to do, right? That doesn't mean that you have to do that. It just means that I see a bottom coming and I need to basically promote RES wave by bringing you true wave analysis. Okay, I have to prove that it works in order to grow it, right? And I love waves, and that's why I love doing these live streams and TradingView ideas and all sorts of stuff, right? Because I just love how these things work. All right, and I have a hell of a lot of fun along the way dealing with some wacky people who just, it's like, who are these people? Are they like bots or something? Did someone write a piece of code to just piss me off or something? Like, I don't even know if these people are real or trying to throw me off or test me or do something. I don't know. It's actually quite funny. But I've learned not to take the bait. So to me, I just find it funny. It's laughable. But looking closer into this wave right now, it's nice to see, it's nice to see how the continuation has done exactly the same thing as last time we broke a wave E. So with fractal patterns, right, you get this E wave. I did identify this as an E wave, by the way, up here. And you can go back through my videos. I did say once we break the low, we're going to move down. But this E wave was part of wave 2, right? And I caught it, and the same thing here, right? That does not mean that this is going to, you know, go insane. Like, just calm yourself down, okay? This is a different degree of trend, right? This is a big E. This is a little E, okay? This is just wave C, right? So wave A of wave, so we had wave D, right? So within wave D, you get A, B, C. So A in brackets, B ended here, and basically wave C was the same length as wave A. So that's the zigzag there, right? It's just that how do you know the waves within here? Well, that's what RS wave teaches you. It teaches you every wave in between. And once you understand the pattern, it's actually, it's very interesting and mind-blowing at the same time, okay? So in wave A, you had alternation here between these two waves, right? One was, quicker and sharper. One was took a little bit longer. But wave 4 did not go into the price territory of wave 1 and 2. That's basically the only thing that Elliott wave can teach you is how to count to 5, and that wave 4 can't go into the price territory of wave 1 and 2. That's about as far as that goes. So I do take things from everywhere and I made my own, and my one works better. So just, if you don't like it, don't watch it, right? So the same scenario here, right? We broke wave E. We're going to complete the move that's intended to happen here, which in this case is wave 5. Like I explained to you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why you can see it getting sharper, because it is in a wave 3. Okay, this is why we're doing this live stream, because we're seeing wave 3 price action, which is not common for people to actually live stream and talk about it as it happens, because I know my waves. So therefore, this is why you're seeing the market fall, right? And is there any particular news event going on at the moment, apart from the usual MSM mainstream media garbage out there? Not really. Unless there's some news from, XLM or, Jed McCaleb or not. It's all human psychology. Waves are all driven by human psychology, right? And that pattern is the bulls versus the bears. That's why my logo is the bulls and the bears, right? On my website and some of my thumbnails on my videos, right? So VR, I have buy orders. Yeah. For XLM, I get you. It's just how you put all the different prices there. That's like a lot of detail there. 29, 27, 25. To me, it's just for me, it's just simple as this, right? We touch the low because that's by definition, we need to make a new low. We have to. Wave 5 always has to be the last low in a 5-wave move down, right? Has to. So we're using these rules and all these specific guidelines for our benefit, right? So for a normal everyday guy, like an Elliottician and like one of those people who like to troll, they already said that they bought at, I think it was like 34 cents. They bought 40,000 XLM or whatever it was. So somebody told me they mentioned this, right? And now there's like the fans, they're attacking the trolls, and it's actually quite funny, right? Because look what's happening. It's like you just wrecked yourself, dude. Like shut up. Another thing I did also mention yesterday was, people like to see patterns, right? And so, like I did mention that, hey, look, we have a head and shoulders here, right? We have a head and shoulders here, right? And look what's happening, right? Can you see how Arias wave and patterns, they go together? They are one and the same thing, because the only thing is, though, just because you identify a pattern only without any kind of other knowledge of the waves, that's called confirmation bias. Okay, you're seeing something and you want to believe that that's something that you can make money off, right? And this is this is something that happens to noob early beginning traders. It used to happen to me. You have some money and you just don't know where to put it. So you just try to look for somewhere to just throw it, right? And people just throw money away. And that's why like 90, 95 or 99% of traders lose money, right? So that's part of and this blew my mind when I found this out for the first time, right? I was insane. I was shocked, right? Because I was also one of them. Excuse me. So when I really wanted to find out how this worked, I was going to teach people how to do it, because this can ruin you, right? Trading can ruin you. If you have no guide at all and you're looking at encyclopedia of indicators and watching that guy on YouTube and this and that, you're just following some person and you're taking advice from a friend, or you watch the news and the news told you something that it made you think different, and you get all sorts of crap going on in your head, right? How are you going to trade using that information? How is that going to help you? It's not going to help you at all. So that's why I was so determined over 6 years to create Arius Wave. And now it's been a bit longer than that, but only about a year ago, I decided to create, I think it was like a year and a half, I can't remember, but I decided to create a TradingView profile, excuse me, to then start bringing this to the world, okay, to start showing it, to start practicing, because it's okay to create something, but then you've got to like put yourself into the public spotlight, right? So that takes, it's all part of psychology, right? So then you got to learn the psychology aspect of trading, all right? How are you going to deal with mistakes, errors? How are you going to correct the errors? How are you going to identify? So all this stuff came together into one big package is what I call Arius Wave. It's a program that teaches you not only how to read the waves, but it teaches you about psychology. It helps you learn about yourself and what triggers you. I'm also in touch. One of my members, he's also helping me with psychology as well, which is even way more in depth. And this guy is he's really cool as well. He's from Brooklyn, NY. And yeah, just when you get on that frequency with what you do in your life purpose, you start to meet the right people, right? You start to meet the right people, everything starts to align, and then things start to happen for you. So it's up to you to tune into the frequency, to follow your dreams, to chase your goals, right? It's all up to you. Don't stay idle, because idle means you're going backwards. Exit here. Welcome back. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's right. And that's what a lot of people have been doing, because they've been wrecking themselves, and it's actually hilarious. I'm laughing all the way to the bank. Been hearing of possible cyber attack. Is that possible? Of course that's possible, right? So, word of warning, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Keep some on the exchange. Maybe move some to your wallet. Make sure you keep your backup phrases safe. Yeah, it's just, there's a few things you can do. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, just in case, right? So will XLM go to 7 cents end of June? I just said we're going to buy it at 27 cents. I think you missed the 7 in there. It's happening right now. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing the live stream. And by the way, welcome, Kaberg. If I said that, hopefully I said that right. J-Star. This is the last move that we're seeing now, right? And it's getting sharp because it's wave 3. Okay. So for me to actually start this live stream whilst this wave 3 is in progress is something that I've wanted to do for a while, because a lot of people like to talk when the market is not moving at all. But in this particular case, I thought, hey, let's do a live stream when the market's moving. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. So because I know we're in wave 3 of wave 5, of a C wave, that's why we know that's why it's possible, right? So yeah, I'm pretty soon I'm going to start logging into my account to get ready to rock and roll. So you can go back through all my previous videos. Unfortunately, I still haven't resolved that issue with TradingView videos going straight to YouTube as a copy. So I've been posting on both, which has allowed me to sort of show myself, so you know who I am now. And I actually think that that did not happen by accident. I think that certain things happen for a reason. So in this particular case, I think you were meant to know who I am, so therefore you could enjoy and put a name to the face and enjoy the content a little bit more. And maybe also so you could see like my thought process, how I answer people's questions, etc., etc. Yeah, I mean, once you get your XLM, take it offline. Yeah, just in case, because you never know. The deal with exchanges, and you know, we live in a wacky world where anything is possible. So, be your own bank. I suppose that's what all this is all about at the end of the day. Get rid of the middleman, right? PayPal sucks, right? PayPal is garbage, just like credit cards, just like banks, just like central banks. They're all garbage, right? Cryptos are here to change everything, right? And when I send money, that shouldn't cost me anything because I'm sending money. Why the hell would you want to take some money from my money because I'm paying someone else money? Are you crazy? It's like trying to charge someone to breathe air. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that? AKA PayPal, banks, any kind of middleman, we need to get rid of them all. They're garbage. Just want to make money off you. Go make your own money somewhere else without ripping people off, right? If you're not going to give them value of some kind of value, right? Then what the hell are you doing really? Right? You're just robbing people blind, just like the government does with taxes, right? Whilst they print the shit out of the currency, right? What the hell is the point of me paying tax when you keep printing the shit out of the money, right? And watering down the money supply. What the hell is the point of that? Right? It's called, you know what it's called, right? It's called robbing you blind, right? They're robbing us blind, and then they tax you for buying food. GST here in Australia, it's called GST. I don't know if you have taxes in your country. They tax you for buying cigarettes. They tax you for buying alcohol. They tax your pay. They like if they could bloody tax your bloody air you breathe, they would do that. They would definitely do that, right? So screw them. I've learned the waves. I want to teach people how to get out of this crappy system, right? Because eventually, this old system, they're going to implode it. They're going to they're going to do the same thing, what they did to 9/11, right? Demolish those towers, right? They're going to do the same thing to the economy. And then they're going to look for an answer. They're going to look for the right technology that's going to drive us forward. And if you look at what XLM and XRP are, eventually, once that great reset happens, they're gonna choose particular coins, which I'm thinking about buying, especially once we hit the top, sell, wait for the crash, buy. There's going to be a point where we have to consider which coins are going to be the coins of the future. And in my opinion, those two are, well, two of the ones that I'm thinking of are XLM, XRP. That's just my opinion, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I can just see it, okay? Maybe there's some others potentially, but I like to look at people and their history, right? I like to look at, like, for example, this Hoskins guy for ADA. He used to be involved with Ethereum, right? And then he sort of shot off and made his own version. And, you know, those type of things to me, I don't know, they make me question people a little bit more. And you know, maybe there's nothing wrong with them, but it makes me wonder why certain things happened the way they did. With Jed McCaleb, I've closely listened to a lot of his interviews and understood the jump from becoming the creative donkey back in the 90s to founding Mt. Gox, to basically co-founding Ripple, and then how now he left to go to and co-founded XLM, or founded XLM. So to me, I like to track people's history. I like to listen to them talk, watch their body language, try to understand what they're like. If they really do know what they're talking about, do they talk in a way that makes sense to me? I have an IT background, so I taught myself computers at 16 years old, right? So I've been dealing with spam mail since God knows when, like the mid 90s, right? So I know when I look in my inbox, I know straight away what's spam, what's not. Delete, done, right? But I can also scan for ones that aren't spam, pick those out, get rid of the rest. You know, you learn tricks. You learn how to read things. You learn how to read people. You learn how to read life. You learn how to read waves, right? Eventually, you just become a keen observer. And here you are listening to me right now. So hi, Ash. Just joined. Should I wait till Sunday to buy? I'd buy whenever it hits 27 cents. That's it, right? As soon as we make any kind of new low below this last point here, right, where this red line started, let me make the red line smaller. Okay, let me half the size of it. Okay. And let me just put it a little bit closer to the actual spot right there. Okay. So 27, sorry, 0.27207. That's what I'm buying. As soon as it touches that area, I'm buying. I'm in. Okay. I don't want to play catch the knife games, try to catch the bottom games. Like we're not margin trading, so it doesn't really matter where you buy. You can buy it now if you want, right? What's the difference between 30 cents and 27 cents, right? We're just trying to learn the waves here. We're just trying to have a bit of fun, right? XRP and ADA, right? I don't know what that means. Is that a question? I like XRP and XLM. ADA, I do like a little bit, but I need to do some more investigation. I need to sort of just listen to this guy speak a little bit more in some interviews. I'm going to start watching some more of his interviews. Like for example, look at Tron, right? Tron is like a copy of Ethereum, right? Let's be real. So that's a shady kind of thing to do, right? Why can't you come up with your own shit, right? Okay, it's a bit different, right? It's not the same. It's a little bit different, right? Etc. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to get a bad feeling about something and then go and buy it, right? Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's all good, right? Maybe that they're all going to be the future, right? But I prefer XLM. Okay, whatever. When it comes to Ethereum, right? Well, how much are gas prices right now? How much does it cost to send a bit of Ethereum to yourself or to your friend? That's a freaking another PayPal, right? Another PayPal, right? another middleman, right? Sorry, you're garbage. I don't need you. Bitcoin, same deal. Just because you were the first one in doesn't mean you're going to be fucking winning the race. All right, it's the tortoise and the hare. Okay, why do cryptocurrencies exist in the first place? Right, because they're trying to get us to understand what it is. They're trying to introduce it to us slowly, right? The powers that be, because they know where it's all going. It's all going to go to this new cashless world, right? And those people who think that they're going to get away with beating the system, yeah, good luck with that one. Good luck, right? That's why whenever I say Bitcoin's going down lower, it's already completed its B wave. You get troll after troll after troll. And I used to only cover Bitcoin, right? When I was initially covering the main markets like the Dow Jones, the Euro, and blah, blah, blah. You can go back and have a look. So when I decided to dig deeper, I wanted to find out what the hell is going on here, because something else is going on. And then I discovered XLM and XRP. So I like to read about things, research, use case, utilities, listen to people talk, listen to their ideas, how they speak, how they conduct themselves. There's actually a channel on body language, right? Have a look at some channels on YouTube that talk about body language. All right, it teaches you how to read people based on how they present themselves, right? What gestures they have, they perform, and all this sort of stuff, right? And you can learn a lot about what people are doing just by watching their body language. So that's very important. And you also have to show proof. If you're going to be doing something like what I'm doing here, you need to actually prove it. You need to prove it over and over again consistently. Otherwise, it's never going to work, right? Because we live in a world full of scammers and fraudsters. So you need to prove every day to your fans, to your followers, to your members. You need to prove every day what integrity means, right? It's all about integrity. I reckon XRP will be one of the last. So to me, it's not about when XRP will be listed, because in Australia, I can buy XRP, right? To me, I reckon it's not going to start going up until we see the big crash happen, right? And that big crash is not going to happen until we see the top of this market, which I've explained to you already where I believe it's going. So one sec. Okay, so now we're seeing a bit of a bounce here, and that's quite normal because not everything goes in any direction in a straight line, right? So correction within a correction could be just a correction in like after the beginning of wave three. Having a quick look at this, I think it's actually so I reckon just by let me go to the 1 minute chart, see if I can do this. Okay, so I believe this was wave E, right? So that's wave E. So this is at the beginning of wave 3, right? Because wave 2 ended, according to my view, right? We had A, B, C, D, E. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this could be the like wave 1. We could be seeing an expanded correction. Yeah, I think, and this takes me back to why I believe wave threes are so sharp, is because the correction actually expands to the downside. So you think that it's just like a big impulsive move, right? But you need to understand that the correction starts to expand to the downside. So that's what I believe causes wave threes to be so sharp, right? So if you go back to like the hourly, right, or even the 4 hour, right? I mean, look at the size of that thing. Look how sharp that was. That included every corrective pattern all in one. And I bet you anything that if you look closely, if you could, it's probably impossible to do it on this particular one, but wave threes are sharp because they also expand every part of the move to the downside, even every correction. Every part of a correction that it has is pulled down, stretched down so fast with so much strength that you can't see it. Right. That took a little bit of research to find all this stuff out. So, but once you start to see this sort of stuff that's going on here, it's kind of just like, yeah, we're just waiting. Just be patient. We're getting there. Don't worry. We're 30 cents, only 3 more cents to go. You believe, so Lamb, Dream, Chazen, you believe XRP won't go high until after the Great Reset, after the high of the bull market. Yeah. I believe for whatever reason the waves are telling me that, right? Because basically it's in an E wave, right? So I'll show you quickly what I mean, right? And the only reason I haven't done a proper XRP update yet is because I know that this thing's going to grind lower. It's just going to keep grinding. And I want to see the kind of pattern that it does, because it could take a long time for this thing to grind all the way down. Okay, so so basically the way I see this is wave 1, A, B, C, D, and now we're in E. Okay, now there are many variants of E waves. As you've seen before, wave E's come in all shapes and sizes, or all waves do, but E waves in particular, they can basically drag on forever, right? They can, like you saw this C wave, right? Look how long that took, right? So far, you got to think about it this way. Every corrective pattern to the upside has been sharp. So the first corrective pattern, which was B, look how sharp it was, right? That was during the bull run. Now, this D wave, which is also a zigzag, right? Look how weak it got. Okay, so this is weakness because there was strength in the market, right? But there are certain rules that have to occur in markets, right? And it's to do with the end of wave 1, right? There are certain rules that I've noticed that I've that's why I call some corrections expanded waves, type 1 and type 2s, and then just regular corrections, right? The regular corrections are when basically the correction doesn't go above the start of the first wave, right? But when you get expanded corrections, I noticed that the once it expands too high, it tends to come back down to earth, right? It's like reverting to the mean type thing. So what's going to happen here is that this is the same sort of thing is going to happen, right? Except this time, I think it's going to chop out. It could chop out it could chop out and take sort of the same amount of time, right? We don't know. We really don't know. So it's just going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out, because there's a lot of unknowns. We don't know how long it will take. We don't know the variance of the E wave. We don't know how long, like once XLM completes C wave, we don't know how long it's going to take for the D to happen. Is the D going to be so quick? The D and the E going to be so quick that this thing just goes straight up? Like, there's so many factors that we can't assume because we don't know, right? We can only follow the pattern. That's what I do. I follow the pattern. Okay. And so whatever to that, it's just bouncing back, retesting where it broke. I'm sure that happens all the time. Let's have a look up here. Okay, we broke the start of wave E. We went down a little bit and we came back sort of to the area around there to retest it. It's just normal behavior. It's just part of the correction. Big deal. Let's have a look at the BTC's dumping. If BTC dumps, XLM goes up. What have I been telling you this whole time? This is why, like, every time someone says, oh, if Bitcoin goes down, all the altcoins bleed. Oh, they bleed. Like, really? They bleed? They really bleed? Really? Okay. No. Which channel did you hear that on? Was that CNBC or CNN? Like, shut up. What are you talking about? So BTC, yeah, like, let's just go back to that pattern. I look, this is it's just getting funny to me now. I did an idea on this ages ago, and the labels are still relevant, even though I did that idea when when was my last Bitcoin idea? Let's have a look here. Shit, it's been a while. I think it's because I have been focusing so much on XLM. BTC, Bitcoin massacre. It's just wave C. I tried to warn you. Yes. But what kind of wave C? We're talking about a larger wave C, right? Now, this takes us back to the bigger picture. So let's go to the weekly. No, not the monthly. Come on, that's too far. Okay. So wave one ended in 2017, right? So you had your A, right? Let me redraw these. I love drawing on charts for some reason. Can't you tell? Okay, so we had the end of wave one. You had your first A wave. You had an expanded B wave. Okay. Now, use your memory. Think back a little bit to what I said a few minutes ago. What happens when B wave expands too much, right? Think about it. Think about it. Let me take you back to the STR. Sorry, the XRP chart, right? Right. Giving you like mini lesson here, right? It tends, stop doing that, right? Once the B wave expands too much, it tends to return back to the area of the end of wave one. Okay. Are you starting to get the picture now? So if we go back to BTC, right? Where was that around? Okay, well, let's put a line here. Now, this is just a rough estimation at this point because we don't know. This could expand in the future and stay above this line, okay? Just like we've seen it happen before, right? The expanded corrections, they can expand, but they still have to end near this area unless we are dealing with an absolutely out of control, insane market, then yeah. But that doesn't mean C wave can't go lower than that, right? C wave can go lower. And the reason why I think this one may go lower has to do with the waves at the top here, right? So yeah, sorry, I didn't mention what date was that again? The last BTC Bitcoin. Oh yeah, that's back when I thought Bitcoin preparing to launch. Okie dokie. I think that was before I changed the view. Yes, it was May. That's right, yeah. Okay, here. Wave B top. Critical support has been broken. So that was confirmation that we weren't going to go higher, right? So that was May 17th. And then I suppose May 24th. So it's been, was there anything else after that? Yeah, there has been a couple, but nothing, I don't think anything in June. So maybe just let's just say a couple of weeks. Right? I haven't put anything out for a couple of weeks. So once we figured out that Bitcoin broke the critical resistance and wasn't going to go higher, that's when obviously I had to change the view, right? As you do, right? Because you can't be right 100% of the time. Anybody who claims to be right 100% of the time, you must be like a superhuman or something. So here we have 1, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so I called this number 2. So wave 2. So if that's wave 2, okay, so that means that this is wave 1, A, B, C, D, E, 1, 1, A, B, C, D. Are we about to see a third of a third wave here? Okay. This is the thing we need to understand. Is this going to be going lower? Because this to me looks like a 1-2 pattern. 1 with wave 2 expanding to the downside. Okay, is this going to be like a complete massacre? Well, when you think about why XLM is going to go so high, right? You have to understand that something's going to happen to Bitcoin. Either it's going to sit still for a while or it's going to go down lower. So far, no rules have been broken since I put those labels on, right? So basically, we weren't supposed to break above the end of wave E, right? Okay, so we did 1, A, B, C, potentially D, and then a bounce for E. We never went above that line. So is this 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, preparing to drop lower? Or is it something else? Very interesting. Very interesting. I'll have to have another look at this one later and potentially post an update. From what I can see here, it's looking like what I say it is, except I'll have to look at different Bitcoin charts in order to make that assumption. Okay, but if we look at XLM BTC, right? This is an important chart. Have a look at what's going on here. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay. Okay, so we already broke the low on the BTC, XLM BTC chart. We broke it, see that? See how I said since the top? I said since the top, we need to make a new low. See how it's happened? You see that? Right? So let's just go to the weekly for a second, right? So this is a zigzag, okay? Don't ask me why that's white, that should be blue. Right, so here you can see that this A wave in brackets was the start of a zigzag, right? So that means that we've already seen the lowest point of XLM against BTC, right? We've already seen the lowest point. We cannot break this bottom line here. If we break this bottom line, we invalidate this whole view, but I don't think that's going to happen, right? But if it does, let me know. But you know, I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so we saw the B wave, right? The B wave that came after the A wave that I just showed you, right? Okay, and then and this is C, right? So obviously we're seeing some weakness here, right? If you pull out the RSI, okay, RSI on the 4-hour. Okay, well that's pretty weak. That's pretty weak, right? So normally you're supposed to see the RSI give you some indication that this wave is weaker, right? But the thing I find here is that because wave 1 was the smallest, wave 5 had to be similar in length to wave 3, right? So do you go to the daily chart then, right, to see that? And this is the part where I can already start to see, right, that we're basically almost out of steam. Sharp, weak. Sharp, weak. Where do you take it for there? Well, that's right. That's why we have the BTC XLM chart, right? And not only do we have the Bittrex version, we also have the Binance version, right? The Binance version. So what's the Binance version doing here? Right? Sorry, I'll go to the hourly. Okay, look what the Binance version is doing. Okay. So once again, wave 1 was the smallest. Wave 3, wave 5 probably tend to be roughly the same length as wave 3, but much weaker, right? So that to me tells me that you know, it's just, you can't use RSI all the time. I don't believe that you should use RSI all the time. That's why we don't use RSIs to make any kind of prediction. Sometimes you can use it to detect wave 3 price action, especially on the short term, and also actually in the long term as well. Let's say, like, just take, for example, right, this here, right, this move here, the A wave, right, and you turn on your RSI, okay, the top was the strongest point. So is RSI always reliable? No, it's not. Okay, it's just a mathematical bunch of code that really doesn't really help anyone trade properly. If you go to if you go back here, back, come on. Oh, you know what, stuff that, I'm not going to bother. Yeah, so the point is that RSI is not always reliable for detecting wave 3 price action. But it can give you a clue though, like, especially when you use trend analysis. Like, you can see how sharp this wave 3 was, right? So it went into oversold, and now you can see how weak, visually weak, this move is looking. So also it's looking weaker on the RSI in terms of visually, not in terms of, you know, which one goes lower than the other for divergence. That's why I don't really use RSI for divergence as much. But it's definitely oversold. So that's something that I want to point out. It's oversold. So whatever to that. XLM USD. Okay. So basically we're still in the move down. It's just going to take time, guys. All right. Just prepare yourselves. I'm assuming XLM will be hitting its run around August, September timeframe. I reckon it'll start as soon as we bottom, which could be this month. Hitting the main part of its run probably through August, September. You could be right. It's going to be going up for a while. Well, at least until we hit our target anyway. Yeah, I do think Bitcoin's going down. I need to probably spend some time analyzing different Bitcoin charts in order to understand the current waves, just in case there's I'm missing something. Yeah, but I do think that it's about to go on a bit of a drop, and it could happen pretty quick, pretty fast. If it happens at the right time, it could happen pretty fast, and it may just happen at the low of XLM, or XLM might flip and reverse and go the opposite direction because of it. Profit taking, profits flowing from other coins into XLM, that kind of thing, that can happen. Wave 3 and C waves are both sharp. Do other numbered waves share characteristics with other lettered waves? Yes, this is something that I've actually have in my course. Yes, that's a very good point, and you're very smart for picking up on that. Wave C is the third wave of the correction, and there's 5 waves in the correction, right? And wave 3 is also the sharpest wave in a move, and it's also part of a 5-wave move. Well, technically it's a 5-wave move, yeah, because you're counting 4 as just one wave, even though it contains a corrective bunch of patterns, right? But we just call exactly like how we call this a B wave in brackets, right? Except there's a lot going on in there. It's not just one pattern, right? But yeah, it's cool that you picked up on that. It's very interesting stuff. There are a lot of other things that you manage to learn along the way when you're on this journey, and they just fascinate you. And it's just like it's just so much fun to when you notice stuff like that. It's like little. I don't like using this term. It annoys me, but little Easter eggs. Like you find little Easter eggs in the waves, and they give you these clues as to, you know, when you observe certain things, they kind of just give you like a feeling, like a clue, and you can use that. Yeah. So wave C is yeah, the third wave, and also a pretty strong wave. So good pickup. All right. So at this point in time, we need to be patient. It's going to take a little bit longer, right? So I don't want to be distracting you for too much longer, because it's not like we're going to see this thing suddenly go dunk. It could happen, but I'd have to wait a little bit longer. And this stream has already been going for a number of minutes. Right. So I suppose all I can say to you right now is that I will catch you on the next live stream. I will put out a trading view idea later on. Another one, because I did one this morning. But yeah, I'll be just keeping an eye on this market and getting ready to buy at 27 cents. So hopefully you've enjoyed our talk and going through the charts. Just remember, I have been wrong before, okay? But I don't believe I'm wrong this time. Okay, I use Arias wave to make my interpretations. It's usually the person who makes the interpretations that gets it wrong, because Arias wave does its job well as a methodology. And if you're going through some personal issues, struggles, that can throw off your interpretation. But there's always ways to determine when you're wrong, right? Because if you break certain levels, you have to go back and look at your initial idea and say, okay, I second guessed myself and I was right the first time. Like with Bitcoin, I said this was going to top way back, last, like start of the year or last year, I can't remember, right? I actually was starting to say that ages ago. And then I second guessed myself, because I started looking at altcoins, and I thought, well, how can altcoins go higher and Bitcoin, and that's where that whole argument comes from. So I said, okay, you second guessed yourself and you were right the first time. You just needed to do more research into more coins, because you were just looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is one tiny piece of the puzzle, right? So that's why I put out the bullish series. So I suggest you check that out on my website, because that's when everything started to change. I started to realign. I started to use everything as clues. Everything from the Dow Jones, the US dollar, the euro, oil. I see what's happening. I see what's coming. If you join the dots yourself using those videos. You can also start to understand a little bit of what I'm talking about here. And yeah, let's just keep an eye on this crazy market, and yeah, leave some comments and watch that trading video later on. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you soon.